So, can we just take a minute to talk about Scott Taddick? Can we? Because, oh my God. Yes, I know I've got baby hairs. This is what happens when you carry a lot of kids and your hair falls out and then it starts falling back in again. And yeah, it's slightly disconcerting. But yes, I would love to take this opportunity to talk about Scott Taddick. Just a tad. So after the verdict is read, Scott says, let's see here, that what happened, the verdict, he means, is the best thing in the world. Why, Scott? Why is it the best thing in the world? Because you thought you got away with murder, didn't you? Yeah, I'm sorry, but Scott Taddick is more queer than a $3 bill. There is something wrong with that boy, ain't there? He then says he got what he got coming to him. Could you get any more fucking country? Yes, I'm moving the computer around, folks. I apologize. I'm sorry if it's slightly unnerving. But, why do they always pick the dumbest motherfucker to be the family spokesperson? Not only that, but you're celebrating the incarceration of your brother-in-law, your soon-to-be brother-in-law. Am I the only one that finds that a little strange? That's about the only point where I don't agree with Barb Janda. Is I personally feel that she should not have married Scott Taddick. I think that was just a bad move on her part. Now, it was brought up with Mr. Kratz. He's an experienced prosecutor. As an experienced prosecutor, he should know right from wrong. Clearly, that's not the case. He should know ethics, but again, clearly that is not the case. He acted completely unprofessional in this entire investigation and prosecution from the word go. He didn't look for the truth. He looked for a conviction. And that's not always the same thing, folks. We saw it with the West Memphis 3 case. A conviction does not always denote the truth. And as the DA, he was the one calling the shots. See, let me put it to you this way, folks. Many years ago, I had a very dear friend of mine and a cousin, as a matter of fact, murdered by her husband. And the DA did not file charges for a long time, and this man was not arrested for a long time. And the reason why the DA didn't file charges immediately and did not arrest him immediately is because he didn't want him getting off on a technicality. And he made sure that investigation was handled in the most professional, unassailable manner possible, because he knew that he needed to convict this person. And so the entire investigation from the word go was run by the district attorney. And for Kratz to have behaved the way that he did, he knew he would lose the case based on the evidence that they had. So he tried it in the media first, and he poisoned the jury pool. And that's just... that alone should have been grounds for a mistrial. That alone should have been grounds for a change of venue to Texas, at the least. This whole thing was mishandled, and then come to find out why. Mr. Kratz obviously has no ethical code whatsoever. He obviously doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and he sure as fuck is not above sexting a victim in a domestic violence case that he's prosecuting while he's prosecuting the fucking case. That alone warrants a review of every case he has worked on for a minimum of 10 years, if not more. How this has not come to pass, I will never know. Fossbender then called Scott Taddick, and told him to tell Barb to have Brendan take the plea deal. And I think it's because he knew that those confessions, all of those interviews were going to be called into question. Unfortunately, I don't think that it was enough to calling into question those confessions, calling into question Kayla's involvement in the questioning. That was the catalyst for them re-questioning Brendan. I don't think it was enough, because Kratz had already poisoned the jury pool. He'd already poisoned everybody in a fucking 200-mile radius. Anybody that they got on that jury was already going to convict Brendan, primarily because Stephen Avery had been convicted, and he was convicted on the narrative given by Brendan Dassey's false confessions. Folks, our police force is the first line of defense on many levels. It is usually the most immediate version of the government that we come in contact with daily. The policeman's creed to protect and serve is evidence of the fact that they are there to protect us. And in order to protect us, we have to trust them. In order for us to trust our police force, we must be able to hold them accountable when they have done something wrong. And by that thin blue line being there, separating accountability from loyalty, it's bad business. Because how can you trust any police officer when even one behaves like that? When even one's credibility is in question? I don't give a fuck where he is. I live in New Mexico, and as a result of this case, I don't trust any police officer. And I've got a lot of friends on the force. And now I have to call that into question. You see, it's not just affecting those in Manitowoc County or Calumet County. It's affecting everyone everywhere. The verdict was wrong. The fact that there was a Manitowoc County Sheriff's deputy on the jury should have been grounds for a mistrial. Because, of course, he's going to protect his own. This whole thing needs to be redone, folks. This whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. I'm going to finish watching episode 9, and I will give you my analysis on that a little bit later. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.